Good morning, YouTube. It's been a while. Got the sun in my face this morning. I just can't stop recording. I need to record and share with you guys all the craziness that's been going on, and there's been so much that I haven't filmed at all, and it's really been tough for me. I don't know how many YouTubers out there struggle with doing YouTube with your full-time job, but needless to say, I broke my foot, my right foot. I fractured it just working too hard, lifting too much weight, put a hairline fracture in it. I was in a boot for 7 weeks, just got out last weekend, and just really been busy with the business. Had to let one of our lead guys go that I've had with me for almost 4 years. And I just really have been having a hard time with getting back to YouTube. And I've been trying to find the right time to record. And there's never really a wrong time to record. It just seems that I just don't record because I feel like it's not the right time to record. But there's a lot going on out there, guys. And so I just decided I just need to turn the cameras on and I need to record. And if people don't want to listen to it, they could just click to the next video, you know. But if I don't record, then how would anyone ever want to listen to anything or watch any of my videos? So I want to kind of catch you guys all up. You all know we bought the second Cybertruck. We dealt with the harassment from just a random person. And unfortunately, and I'm actually dealing with a small cold as well that's been going around, and it's kind of a really nasty bug. It really wants to take control of me, but I've been going to bed early every night, doing a lot of herbs and vitamins. But anyway, so my voice sounds a little raspy right now, but I gotta record. I gotta stop delaying because of my foot or because of my voice or because I don't feel like it's the right time to record. I'm just gonna record and I'm just gonna put videos up. I've got to stop worrying about them being so perfect. So thank you, YouTube community people out there. I really need to connect with you. I really need to find people that I connect with because I feel like I'm on a totally different wavelength than 95% of the population. Does any of you out there feel that way? Because I most certainly do. And I'm going to mute my phone just in case something comes across here. But I want to say that things haven't gotten any better. I am currently taking my truck to the Loveland, Colorado Loveland Service Center that has been vandalized 3 times in the last 10 days. And the last one, they tried to burn it down and they're putting X's on the windows and, you know, Nazi symbols, and all because Elon gave out his heart, but he did it the way that Hitler, I guess, had used to salute. When can we move on? When can we not worry about one little gesture we make reminding somebody of something of the past? Because if you know Elon, he's the farthest person from Hitler. But the media, the legacy media, well, I remember one day they did a Google Gemini test and they said, who's more evil, Elon or Hitler? Well, that was just a way to brainwash the people to make you think that Elon is as evil as Hitler. Guys, he's not. And any of you who think he is, just move on to the next video because you're not really welcome here. And only because there's so much misinformation and hate going on in America. And, you know, we are waking up as Americans. We're starting to realize, in my opinion, that we're not the greatest country in the world. Our food is horrendous. We have so many people who have diabetes. Our life expectancies are not good for supposedly the most, you know, largest economic country in the world, which I don't believe that's true either. I believe China has far surpassed us. And when I watch Kyle without a speck in his EVs, he's showing off how many China EVs there are out there and how amazing they are. And Tesla is the only one who even kind of gets close out there. But out here in America, of course, Tesla's 10 years ahead. But we are so far behind out here, guys. And I'm just really having a hard time with the Cybertruck. And this is what I want to talk about in this video, is owning a Cybertruck now is almost dangerous. People are attacking people for it. They're judging you. They're yelling out the window, calling you Hitler. Like, it's pretty wild. And I live in northern Colorado, and I'm starting to really get nervous about the two that I have. And I want to stand my ground. I really do. I want to stand my ground and not give in and sell my trucks, which I'm not even sure I could sell my trucks. But the point is that Americans are so divided internally with racism, prejudice, I mean, all the LGBTQ, whatever you want to call it, all this stuff going on, and we're so divided, but I don't think Americans see it. And I had a really horrible thing happen last week. I lost my nephew to a gunshot, to a shooting. He's 16. Insane. We're shooting up each other. We're killing off our kids. It doesn't even matter how old you are. We're shooting each other. We're killing each other. We're vandalizing people's vehicles and car lots because we believe the narrative and of the elites who don't want Elon to clean up the government, that want to make other people believe that he's Hitler by giving off his heart. Now, we all know he's got autism and other things going on, right? Like, you can't judge him as like every normal person, and I don't even know what normal is anymore, but you know what I mean. Like, people are crazy about this. Like, do your research. Is he really Hitler? Is he really trying to control and kill people based on their genes or whatever? Like, no. He's brought so much renewable resources to this planet. He's helped out so many people with internet, Starlink, SpaceX. He's going to set humanity free and put us on Mars. But we think he's Hitler. And now I am being judged for the trucks that I drive, and I'm worried about my service technician in the truck that he drives. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is how bad it is here. I was loading up, and I'll show you guys some pictures. I was loading up some rooftop units on the back of this Cybertruck. I went and rented a nice over-deck trailer. And I remember the first time I called, she even questioned that the Cybertruck could haul the over-deck trailer. And I said, of course it can. It has a tow package, and she had to check with her boss. Well, the boss did approve it. And then when I went to town the next day to grab the rooftop units, I had a guy in a semi jump out of his semi and come over and talk to me. He started telling me how useless these vehicles were for anywhere in the mountains. He said, I totally understand these as city trucks because we don't want to breathe the pollution, he said, while we're driving down the roads with all the congested cars and vehicles. He said, we like electric forklifts. They make sense because we don't want to breathe the propane exhaust in the warehouse. He said, but these things are useless in the mountains. And I said, sir, I live in the mountains. I live in 11.5 miles of dirt road. I drive 45 minutes a day, one way to get to work. And half of it is mountain life dirt roads. He couldn't grasp the fact that I was telling him this. He started arguing with me about all kinds of things. He said it couldn't go off-roading at all. So I lifted it up a little bit and let him look underneath it. You know what he told me? He kept telling me, no, it's got a pumpkin down there. It's got drive shaft down there. I was like, no, sir, it doesn't. He's like, well, my buddy bought a Ford F1 Lightning and it didn't do anything. He had all kinds of problems. I'm like, well, yeah, because it's a Ford F1 Lightning. I mean, have anybody of you looked at the back of a Ford F1 Lightning and looked at the rear wheel differentials and how there's like maybe I feel like 8 inches of clearance, and it doesn't lift itself up and down. So I told him that, Tesla's decade ahead of the competition. Well, he looks under my truck and he starts pointing out the tiny little, I think you call them control arms that go over to the wheel. And he tells me, well, that's pointing down. And I'm like, really? You're just trying to create an argument now, because I've proven to you that the entire truck is flat, but you're going to try to call out the tiny little curvature as it goes towards the wheel as a point of low clearance. And he just couldn't accept anything in his mind that this truck could be better than any of the other diesel, GM, whatever trucks you want to talk about that are just standard trucks. So then he goes and asks me, well, what do you do when it rains? That's when I know that who I'm talking to has been completely brainwashed. I don't know if it's the media, if it's the social media, but when they ask you, how do you drive this thing in the rain? They don't think it can happen. He thinks it will break. And I told him, not only can I drive it in the rain, but I can pressurize the battery pack and I can go through water almost as high as the windows Tesla rated. Well, he couldn't accept that either. And then he started arguing with me about, well, what do you do when you go camping? And I said, what do you mean I go camping? He's like, what if you're gone for 4 to 5 days? I said, I'll bring my generator. He's like, oh, so you need gas then. You need gas. He's like, so then you're just using gas. And I was like, well, sir, I don't hate on gas. I need it every now and then. Then he says, well, if all of us switched over to EVs, the power grid couldn't handle it. Now, where I live in Colorado, I am an HVAC contractor and I work directly with the power municipalities. I go to meetings where they talk to us as contractors about EVs and heat pumps, right? Mostly heat pumps. They tell me, no, there's no shortage of power here in Colorado. Now, in other parts of the world like California and stuff, probably so. But here, we don't have that problem. And I pay 6 cents a kilowatt off-peak charging at my house. From 9 p.m. till 4 p.m. the next day is off-peak for me. And it's 6 cents. So it's a no-brainer to drive an EV where I live. It's pennies on the dollar compared to what you're paying to drive a combustion vehicle. So when he tells me that I need gasoline, I'm like, okay. And then about the EV, okay, so he says then if we're all going to switch over to EVs, we're not going to be able to afford electricity. They're going to raise the power up so high that we'll never be able to afford it. And I said, sir, well, that's what solar is for. Because right now the power is so cheap at my house that the investment for my solar system, which we roughly calculated about $55,000 to handle my 2 EVs in my home, would not pay for itself for about 23 to 25 years. Well, that's when your whole system needs to be replaced. So for me, the power's so cheap that I don't even have a need for solar. But one day, if they do increase the electricity, we can put in solar. And I tried to explain to him, sir, I can power my truck from solar panels, from wind, hydro if I had it, even coal and gas and propane, yes, when needed, right? I'm not saying we don't need gas. I'm not saying we don't need propane or diesel. And I'm not forcing anything down anyone's throat. I believe that everyone should be able to make a choice on what they want to drive. And Trump just said this. He's like, everybody can choose what they want. We're not mandating anything. And that's great, because Americans can choose what they want to choose. But these big diesel guys, and I don't want to get too far off one direction. Let me finish this. So when I tell them that I can produce my own power for my vehicle, he says, well, I can do the same. I said, so you're making your own gas? He's like, well, I can. And I laughed and I said, so you're going to put an oil rig in your backyard and produce your own gas? He's like, oh, there's other ways to do it. And I'm thinking, come on. Here you are still trying to argue with me that you're going to go make gasoline in your backyard. Okay, sure. I'm sure it's possible. I'm not here to say it's not, but who's doing that? I haven't heard of it. So after I continually tell him the things that he's wrong about, that this truck can do that, it can do this, it can lift itself, it can drive itself, it can haul. I haul all the time with it. I know people say, oh, it doesn't have any range when you're hauling. Well, I have no issues, and I haul all the time, and I haul long distances. You just need to be prepared and understand where you're going and what you're doing for the day. It's not that difficult. I've only had to go to the supercharger one time since I've owned these trucks to make it to my son's football game. And that was a long day at work of moving all over the place. Anyway, so it's so crazy how far gone people are on the EV world, that, are their understanding of the EV world. They have no understanding of it. When they literally think that your truck cannot get wet, they're clueless. So Chris runs service all the time, and I wish I could just start recording all his stuff. The day before, a customer told him the same thing. That thing can get wet and it can drive in the snow. He was blown away. What information did these people get that taught them that EVs can't get wet? They think sparks are going to fly out of them. They think they're going to explode. And I haven't made videos in a while because I've been going through a lot with this truck, and I've realized that the best way for me to deal with all the stuff going on in the world is to actually make videos about how great the truck is. And all these people want to hate on it, but they don't understand it. They have no conception of it. This truck is so advanced that people just don't even understand it. It's beyond their thinking. And this is why I'm going to start doing more videos about the truck, about me talking about it, and showing the things that I can do in it every day. Just about ready to hit the pavement here. That was all my driving on the dirt road, which I must say is the most comfortable out of any of my trucks with the suspension system in here. It's the safest vehicle I've ever felt in. But you get these Ford and Dodge guys who are flipping me off on the road. They think that what I'm driving, I had a customer who's not even going to use me because he's so worried about the way that my truck looks that he doesn't want to use my business. Well, I don't need those customers, right? I don't need shallow customers like that. And he said, let's be honest, it looks like a damn trash can. And I was like, sir, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. To me, it looks like an advanced spaceship that is safe and comfortable. Now I'm gonna go ahead and engage full self-driving because I want y'all to see there's a lot of issues with my truck with full self-driving. Now, I don't know if it's gonna let me use it. No, it doesn't like that camera in the way. Now we'll see. Maybe I can keep my hand here. But it rides this left lane like crazy. I don't like how far. I mean, it'll hit the rumbles. Here we go. Yeah, it doesn't like this camera setup. Interesting. I might not be able to use it with the way my cameras are set up. But you can see right now it's about ready to cross over the road. I am paying attention. Let me see if I can turn my head. See, it just hit the rumbles. Alright, it just blocked me out. Whatever. I'll have to reposition cameras to show you how bad it is for the full self-driving. It's really, now, let me say, it's really good on the interstate, and it's even better in town. But for some reason, this strange part of 287 here, it's just really bad, and I want my cameras replaced because two of them have a red tinge to it. And last time I went in a Tesla, they told me, no, they still work, there's nothing wrong with it, we're not going to fix it. Well, I showed them a video of the truck half over into oncoming traffic, and I'm wondering if that's enough for them to understand I think there's a problem with this, because when I drive my Foundation Edition, that doesn't seem to happen to me. I've taken it into the shop a couple times and used the full self-driving. But anyway, I want to start doing some videos like this where I just talk and show the truck and Yeah, it's got its quirks. Let me tell you, the non-Foundation Edition truck I have had more issues with than the Foundation Edition truck. And I would have thought it would have been the reverse, right? This is a 46,000th revision or whatever, or, you know, made truck, versus my other one is 6,000. But I have problem with air leakage in these two windows on the passenger side. If I roll them all the way up, you can hear air coming through them. Tesla's fix for that was to put more foam behind them or something. It was not a window adjustment. It was the actual frame needed more push out against the seal. Well, that seemed to be good for a little while, but not anymore. So I'm taking it back in for that. I'm taking it back in for this. And guess what, guys? This is something I want to show you. I have a video. My power share module at my house got fried by this truck. Now, I thought it was just a failure of the power share module, but on the second trial with this truck, and I've got video of it, you might be able to hear it in the video. I'm going to make another video. I kind of held back on that video because I wanted to kind of get the full story, but it's so strung out now that I want to put the video out. I was trying to show a video of how it worked and how great it was, and then it went poof and stopped working. Started throwing up an error that said lower the load, lower the load. Well, that's all it ever says now is lower the load. So it's okay. So then I had the guy from Q Merit, the electrical company who contracts with Tesla. The guy flew out from California to my remote home in Colorado and spent the entire day on the phone with Tesla Engineering, which they determined this truck, the non-Foundation Edition truck, fried my gateway with a battery issue. Now, is that an entire battery pack? Is that a battery module? What does that mean? Unfortunately, Tesla will not comment on my service when you can send them a message about what the battery issue is. I have a case number. It took me quite some time to even get them to even address it. Now, I'm currently heading down to my shop to drop off a few things, and I'm taking this truck in, and they're going to keep it for, they said, 3 to 5 days, because the battery, the cameras, the window. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. I don't know if there was anything else right now, but I've had more issues with this truck by far than my Foundation Edition. Now, has it left me stranded? No. It's been fine. You know, the full self-driving's been a little wonky. Sure, that's not safe, but I'm smart enough to know. And yeah, the power share module, big deal, right? So Tesla doesn't want to replace my power share module until they fix the truck, because obviously why would we replace it and I just burn it up with this truck again? So we'll see how this unfolds this week, but I was nervous because the Loveland dealership that I'm taking this to last Friday, I even rescheduled for Monday because I was worried about leaving it in their parking lot, and not in the sense that I didn't know there had been any vandalism. But sure enough, that weekend, maybe even that Friday night, they had the vandals come and spray Nazi symbols, X's on the windows. They tried to burn something. I don't know if it was a car or the building. But thank goodness my truck wasn't sitting out in the lot, because I'm sure it would have been a target, being a wrapped truck. So I've asked Tesla, which they haven't responded. I asked them over the weekend if they could keep my truck in the facility during its repairs. I'm going to verify that with them when I get there. But long talk, but I really wanted to just kind of fill you guys in on everything that's going on. It's really been nerve-wracking with the reactions of Americans and what they think. Now, not everybody's like that, don't get me wrong. I still get quite a few people who love it, who think it's the most intriguing thing they've ever seen. But I'm just very disappointed in the hate that people have for others in America because they don't agree with what they drive or what clothes they wear or what sex they want to be. I don't know. All this stuff's just crazy to me. Just let people live and be, right? I mean, as long as you don't hurt anybody else, what's going on here? I mean, I think people who drive Subarus I'm just like, why would you drive that, right? But I don't give them thumbs down. I don't flip them off. I don't even care. I just keep driving because I'm living my life. But I get some people who are just out of control. And unfortunately, I'm starting to learn more and more that we've been lied to. As Americans, a lot of guys especially think that they need big trucks, diesel, big, tall trucks, and they don't even really use them as trucks. It's just, that's the persona, if you will, they want to have. And I look at other countries. I've been watching a lot of videos in China and little places all around there, and they're not like that, right? Like they're very healthy, their food is good, they don't drive massive vehicles just for a fashion statement. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like Americans like, oh, gotta have the big truck, gotta have the big truck or you're a weak boy, because look at you, you're driving a trash can and I'm driving the big Chevy and I'm gonna laugh at you when I drive by it. But in reality, in my mind, I'm like, it's just because you're ignorant. You don't even need that big Chevy truck. And maybe you need it those few times that you go on that long road trip, right? I get it. Those long road trips with the trailer, I get it, right? There's going to be those case uses. But I'm telling you guys, I haven't had any issues, and I love going on road trips with this truck. I have made some decisions to do some new tent camping. I've bought a small trailer for this. I'll have to show you guys. That has very little impact on my range.
Take a little video. Oh, look.
Fancy box on wheels.
It's a little tiny one.
But any trailer, any sort of air, aerodynamic resistance is going to have issues. But I don't know, I guess I just wanted to talk about things, let you guys all know where I'm at. We haven't had anybody call with any more threats. Thankfully, that's over with, and the guy that is going through all that stuff with the court systems is about out. I mean, he's just doing his probation and stuff, and we've been cool. Every time the court asks how we feel about his sentencing, I'm like, it sounds fine. You know, we're not enemies here. We're not trying to make his life worse. We just want him to know it's not okay to say you're going to come to my shop and kill everybody. It's not okay to call us all kinds of names because you didn't like what I drive. And that's really the scary world we're living in right now, I feel. And I just want other Tesla owners out there, and maybe even Cybertruck guys, that we need to stand together. And I'd love to hear your comments. The last video, I was overwhelmed with the amount of comments that people had that were supporting me, and I thank you all. It was amazing. What a heartfelt journey this has been. And I lost my connection with you all, and I got into a rut where I broke my foot. Business was tough. Had to let my guy go that I had for 4 years and put all my training into, and life just got really hard for me, and I felt like I just kept getting sick, and the stress was high, and now I'm feeling better. I'm battling this last cold, and I never get sick, and it's been stress. You know, the world's going through all these changes, and with Elon getting involved with all the stuff with the government, I just wish people would stop connecting Elon to Tesla. I mean, it's almost like Elon's out there doing everything. You know, that's not true. Sorry, I don't know. The windshield wiper does this randomly too. I just have to turn it off. It just thinks like there's something there. I don't know. There's quite a bit Tesla needs to work on, and we're getting there. Like, I got the new trailer profiles. That was pretty cool. So now I can put in my trailers, the sizes of them, the weight of them, and I'm going to be able to record the miles on them and all that. So that's fun. Okay, I got an update to the Cybertruck, which was just for trailer and hauling. We now have profiles where I can pick between my different trailers. I can then go in and actually edit that. I could pick the trailer mass, the dimensions, the mileage. It'll keep track of all that for you. And then so I can enter all those in. That's pretty cool. But then I also found out that we now have trailer auxiliary power, which now allows that auxiliary power wire to stay on when you're hooked up to the trailer. So that's pretty cool. I don't know much about that, but that was an add-on as well. But I'm interested to see if we'll get more of this kind of design behind the Cybertruck versus a semi when we're hauling. And I can maybe show you guys a little bit of that. But this video, I really wanted to just make it, put it out there. And this is more about, I'm trying to find the right words, but just talking about what I'm going through. And I feel like I'm not alone. I feel like there's other people out there that maybe even have sold their Cybertruck because of the pressure of society. Maybe have decided not to buy one because of pressure of society. I mean, I was looking at the comments in the video of the people, or of the news organization that was talking about what happened at the Loveland Tesla. And the first comment I read was somebody just bashing him and saying, well, basically feeding the narrative of Nazi, that Elon's Nazi, and that's what you get. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And another guy's like, yeah, who would buy a trash can anyway? And it's like, so it just drives me insane because they don't have any sort of knowledge or understanding of what this truck does. So they're so worried about the looks of everything that they don't even care about the functionality. So I basically know anybody who calls this thing a trash can, I don't even care what they think, because they don't even know anything about it, because you're basically judging the book by its cover. You're not understanding why it's designed this way. You think that Elon just wanted it to look this way and then put the functions in it? No, it was about the functions, and then that derived the look, the aesthetics of it, which is different from any other manufacturer, right? Like, I feel like today it's all about the looks and then pack in what you want. Well, it's reversed with the Cybertruck. It's about what it can do, and this is what it looks like because of it. And that's my personal opinion on the design. I just feel alone a lot about this and my struggle and sticking with what I think is right and what I'm enjoying. This truck has done everything for me. I've had no issues, no complaints, other than the little things that need to be fixed here and there. And of course, my power share module, that was a big one, but I was the second one in Colorado to receive one. I get it, it's new, but yeah, it sucks. It did burn up. It still works though. Like, it's not the fact that it backs up my home, but it still allows all the power to go through it, which is good. And Q Merit, hats off to them. They were willing to fly out to my home to fix this unit. I mean, that's some support, guys. That's some really good support. And I have to stand behind that. So they've been great. So I hope this video can help other people. I want to make videos that help people get through the stress of what Americans are going through right now. And I guess that focus would be the direct impact to me, which would be the Cybertruck. My Cybertrucks are in the, you know, basically we just get, the second you pull up to a customer's home, they're questioning you, they're grilling you about it. Like, how does that thing even get up here in the snow? Are you gonna run out of range? Even had a customer ask my service tech, aren't you scared to drive that? And he said, why? He said, well, won't it just, after the explosion in front of the Trump Tower, aren't you afraid it's just gonna blow up? And Chris had to tell him, like, man, that was not just the Cybertruck blowing up. Somebody put a bunch of explosives in the back of the truck and set it off. Like, people really think it's just got firework package. When it blows up, it just shoots fireworks out of it. That's what he thought. Because the headline read, Cybertruck explodes, right? It doesn't explain what is going on, and people don't read the details. They read the headline and jump to conclusions immediately and think, see, told you these EVs are bad for America. And here I am following a guy with a Dodge who can't even do he's 9, 10, 11 under the speed limit. I don't even know what he's doing. Is it dinosaur trucks is what I call these now. All these other trucks are dinosaur trucks. They run on dinosaur fuel and they're outdated like dinosaurs. But that's the thing, is Americans don't understand. They're not waking up to the reality of, hey, you're missing out. Why are you judging me? Why are you hating me? but you're so far gone in the information realm that you literally think that I can't drive this in the rain. And Chris made a funny joke when I told him about that. He said, well, next customer asks me if I can drive in the snow or rain, I'm going to tell him, nope, I got to pull over and put on the Cybertruck raincoat. It really, guys, that's the kind of people we're dealing with in the world today. And maybe just more here in the United States. But it's sad. So, after the recent events of the Loveland Tesla arson, I'm just more worried than ever now. And customers last week, the guy that was just really almost upset with me that I was driving a Cybertruck, it's just gotten really nerve-wracking. So I want to keep the truck, but I feel like I need this channel now to talk about it, and it's almost like therapy. So thank you all for listening, for going along with me with this ride. Let's show the dinosaur truck what the Cybertruck can do. Oh, it was pretty easy. And so, yeah, I just feel like Americans are really lost, and I feel like there's so much information they don't have anymore. I almost feel like we were the ones who were brainwashed. And when Trump said we're going to end censorship for America on the federal level or government level, all of a sudden I started seeing all these videos about China. And I was like, what is going on? China has beautiful roads with lasers that keep you awake, with parking garages, with chargers everywhere, with that are actually double as what do you call them, like shelters with food and water in them and all that to take care of their people. Bomb shelters with bomb shelter doors, and like they're just so more advanced than us, and beautiful places to park. And I don't know, like if you look at our most advanced like stuff is like what, New York, which has rats running all over it. Like, what is going on? And they have beautiful trains and, you know, whatever you call them, the rails, the high-speed trains in China that we can't even invest in here, get anything done here. We still got I-25 in Colorado. It's just a nightmare every day, but we're going to keep building and building and building and building new homes. It's just insane. But now I feel like I'm living in a time where people are in the past, and then they see me and they think I'm crazy because I drive this thing. And I'm like, no, guys, you're in the past. You need to wake up. Like, this stuff is the future. So anyway, I want to say thank you for everyone for listening. And please comment below and help me guide this channel so that we can all talk together as a community. I think it's really good that we all come together, because I don't really have an avenue to talk to people. Like, I'm just a business owner doing my own thing. I live in the mountains. I'm not part of any other community other than YouTube. And now I'm starting to realize that YouTube is a community. YouTube is a place that I can connect with other viewers like you that think like me, and we can talk about things, and we can like make it make sense, because 95% of the people I run into don't make sense to me. And it's hard when you feel like you're alone in this world. And I feel like I think like Elon. I'm forward thinking, and what makes sense for me, right? Like, this truck saves me over $700 a month. Plus it's all the other benefits. I made up a 30 line item list of things the Cybertruck does better than all my other diesel and gas trucks prior to this. 30 items, and I posted it on videos that were full of hate on the Cybertruck, because nobody was talking about what it can do. They were just blaming it for being Elon and for being a trash can. Sorry guys, I didn't clean this one very well, and it just hit the dirt. So we'll probably just turn off the video feed for this one. I'm pretty much at the shop. I gotta clean them better. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna end the video there. It's exciting to be back. Thanks for watching. we'll see you guys on the next one. And I will just continue to do videos and talk, because I've been realizing that I should do that and not worry about making these exciting videos and look at, you know, all this stuff. Like, sometimes it's okay for us to just talk and find that community of people who are also in that same boat, and maybe I can help you all. Maybe we can help each other with this strange world we live in and the adventures that we're on. So I'll keep you guys posted on the repairs on the truck. I'll show you guys the video of my power share module failing. And I got a few other little videos I want to share about me hauling the rooftop units and doing some work with my HVAC company. I might start to just kind of bring the videos to both sides of the world, since it's a lot of Cybertruck in both. So please comment below. Please tell me what your thoughts are. I love to hear it. And if you got a lot of negativity, go ahead and find the negative videos. That's not this one. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.